Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Shruti Smruti Purana Namalayam Karunalayam Namame Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakrutimashritah Bhajant Jananya Manasaha Jnatva Bhutadimavyayam. So it's a very wonderful verse, which is not one sentence. There are multiple sentences in that verse. One is Bhutadim Jnatva. Second is Avyayam Jnatva. Third is Mahatmanaha. But before these sentences, the first sentence is two. Two itself is a sentence. So that became fourth. I made Partha also into a sentence. That becomes five. Daivim Prakrutimashritah. One sentence. Ananya Manasaha Bhajanti. Ananya Manasaha is a sentence. Bhajanti means very loaded verse. And so Bhutadim Jnatva. So you have to understand that light in you is the origin of the entire world. There is a light in you. It is something like you have to pay attention. It is not difficult also, you have to pay attention only. Like there are billions of electrical gadgets in this world, right? Billions. All of them function because of one thing, and that is electricity. And where is that electricity? It is somewhere in the heaven or Vaikuntha or what? It is before you. In your home it is there. In the very bulb under which you are reading the book, there is electricity. Not only it is in your home before you, but also it is within you. The heart is beating because of electricity only. And you are a very good conductor of electricity. Do you know that? So you have that heartbeat is electricity. So where is electricity? Now what shall we do to know electricity? Should we go to 3 Miles Island? Not necessary, right? So similarly, to know Bhutadim, you have to look within. So what is that which is beyond the matter and the mind, and also at the same time which is supporting both matter and mind? What is that? That is the inner light, the light of knowingness. Let us call it the knowing element, which is the Atma. That is the name given to it, because it is the essence of everything, and so it is in you. It has no name. The name that you are so proud of is the name of the body-mind which was born and it will die. So don't be so much hung upon the name and form. So because the light within you is nameless, and it is indivisible. It is not parts, it is not made up of parts. It is a entirely indivisible, solid block of reality. That is what it is. And it is uncaused. It has no cause for itself. It is the cause of everything. Itself is uncaused. And then it is independent. Matter and mind depend upon that inner light of the knowingness, whereas the knowingness, the knowing element, Atma itself is independent. Then it is, another important thing about that is, it is Avyayam. It is the changeless, the beginningless and endless, means ever new, ever fresh. You see, you look at the body, it is never new, it is always old, and it is ever changing. Is it not so? So if you see the photograph of your childhood, you will not be able to recognize yourself. Once I saw a photograph. Hey, whose photo it is? I asked. My father told me, your photo only. Is it? Yeah. So, It is ever changing. What about the mind? You look at your mind and your personality or the persona 5 years back. How was it? It was a different mind, right? It is not the same mind. And then you are a different person. Now you are not the same person. On the day of marriage, he was one person. After 5 years, he is a different person. Is it not so? Man or woman, they are not the same person. The person is ever changing. Person is the ego self, egotistic self. It is changing, and the mind is changing, the body is changing, the world around is changing, all the relations are changing. One day you say, I love you, and after some time you stop saying, I love you. And then a day may come when you start saying, I hate you. So, everything is changing. So, but then there is something in you, there is something which is changeless. And where is it? So, once again the same question. Electricity does not change, the gadgets change. Electricity is changeless. Similarly, that Atma, it is in you, that light, inner light. It is the changeless, and so that's why it is ever new and ever fresh. So you have to look at, you have to find that which is ever fresh and new in yourself and all around you. You have to find it. That is all you have to do. Generally, we are accustomed to experience the old, always. Like, you look at the wife, she is the wife of 20 years and you celebrate it also. You are celebrating a 20th marriage anniversary means, I am still stuck with this lady. That is what you are celebrating. It can be the other way also, right? So what is it that you are celebrating? A person who is known to you for 20 years. Is that what you are celebrating? If you see some freshness in the relation, the freshness, you won't celebrate it. Because you don't see any freshness, it has become very worn out, very old and worn out like an antique, and therefore you celebrate it. Suppose you do exercise, do Surya Namaskar. Then close the eyes and look at, feel your body. How it feels? It feels fresh. Did you ever try that? It feels fresh. And then you don't celebrate its age. When do you celebrate its age? It stopped feeling fresh. You stopped doing exercises. You became very lazy. You means not you, generally. So, very lazy. The body has become very dull. And it is 60-year-old body. Then it is time to celebrate. You look at any guy who is celebrating. You take it from me, he doesn't know what is new and fresh. That's why he is celebrating. Celebration is an escape from the worn out. You have to discover the new, the fresh, the timeless, the changeless. Changeless means timeless. Do you know some physics? Change is time. So when it is changeless, it becomes timeless. So it is all around you. You see, I try to explain it, but sometimes I feel that the explanation could be inadequate. Like, how do you meet life? You ask this question to yourself. How am I meeting life? You wake up. Now there is life before you. And how do you meet it? You wake up and say, today is November 3. That is how you wake up. You wake up to November 3. November 3 means it is the continuation of November 2. What is freshness in it? Nothing is fresh. So you wake up to one more day and give a date to it. Day and date. One more day and date. And then you wake up, the same old family, the same old neighbors, the same people. They meet the old with the memory. You got the point? But suppose you wake up and the memory is put aside for a while. That memory will come later. No harm, it can wait for a while. For a few seconds it can wait. Then you wake up. Then you are awake to a new day, a fresh day. And with that freshness, when you look at the lady or gent, whatever, there is a freshness in that also. And there is a freshness in the children. And there is a freshness in the nature around you. In the wind, there is a freshness. In the sun rising, there is a freshness. And in the trees, in the plants, in the breeze, there is freshness all around. Is it not so? But why don't you experience the freshness? Because you are looking at everything through the prism of the memory, which is mind. Memory is mind. What you call mind is memory, which is the past, which is the known, which is the dead if you care. Past is dead only. So this is not life. This is only living, but not life. There is living without life. Whereas, if you can put the memory aside, and if you know how to wonder, there is that sense of wonder and amazement, then you can wonder at the sunrise. The rishi who wondered at the sunrise came out with Gayatri mantra. Rishihi darshanat. He sees something different. He doesn't see the same old sun in one more morning 6 o'clock. If that is what you see, you don't come out with any vision. You are stuck with the same past, rolling into the present and then into the future. And what is there in the future? We are all waiting for death. That is what is there in the future. We don't know how to meet the life fresh, new, which is ever fresh. Therefore, if only you can put the memory aside for a while and look at a flower without memory. You don't need to give it a name, rose, a yellow rose, white rose, the neighbor's rose is not so good as this rose. What is all this? So, you need not look at rose like that. You can look at the rose even without the name rose, means without memory. Then in that rose, there is a freshness, there is a beauty which is not physical beauty. People are stuck with physical beauty. What will happen to the rose if it is physical beauty? By evening, what will happen? It will wither away. So, the flowers, they bloom only to wither away. What else? So, whereas if you look at it without name, with that when you meet fresh, new, there is an intimation of divinity in that rose. In the words of William Wordsworth, he looked at daffodils. Daffodils are not like rose, they are useless flowers in a way. They are wild flowers, grass flowers, wild. Nobody keeps daffodils on the table in a vase. Silly flowers they are. But a poet looks at them. It is as if a poem is hanging on those daffodils. And the poet goes there, he pulls out the poem from the daffodils. Whereas we walk by without even noticing them. And in fact, we are only unhappy that somebody has not yet mowed them. What happened to us? Very sad. So we don't know how to meet life anew, afresh. We don't know. So we meet the present with the past. So she is my wife of 25 years and celebrating. What is it that you are celebrating? The old, this I said already. So, please excuse me. So, avyayam, the changeless. When you look at, when you know how to meet the life anew, afresh, then you will not be looking at names and forms. Because you should understand, by now I am struggling since 1 hour, by now you should understand that name and form is memory. Therefore past. Therefore dead. Therefore it is not what is. What is is present, appa. It is not was, it is not dead, it is not memory, it is not the past, it is not the known. It is what it is. The moment you named it, you have killed the present with the past. Did you get it? Avyayam. And when you rise above the names and forms, the nama rupa buddhi, then the world doesn't appear to you. The world is what? A collection, multifarious. That is not what you see. You see the glory of Brahman in all. That is called bhutadim jnatva avyayam jnatva. So, therefore that Brahman, it is the source of everything. And it is in everything, like gold. Gold is the source of all ornaments, and it is present in everything. When you look at yourself, it is that inner light which gives birth to waking consciousness, in which the whole world comes to light. And so, that the source of the waking consciousness is the real. It is the bhutadim avyayam. The waking consciousness is all movement. It is in flux, constantly changing. Whereas that which gives rise to the waking consciousness is changeless, avyayam. And you can, that real, that avyaya, changeless, you can neither prove it nor disprove it. So, within the mind, you cannot prove it. Proofs exist in the intellect only. Within the mind, you cannot prove it. It is not an object to be recognized and stored up in memory. Generally, proof is something you recognize and which is stored up in memory. So you consider it as proof. Whereas the light of that Atma cannot be proved in that sense. Within the mind, you cannot prove it. Beyond the mind, you need not prove it. Because proof means a mental concept. Therefore, reality is beyond proof and no proof. And also, it is not the result of a process. So, na karmana. It is not, if it is a result of a process, then it will come in future, and it is not now. Like pot. There is clay now, no pot. Then you do a process, vyapara. Vyapara, a function, a process. Pot will take birth in the future at the end of the process. That is not what the reality is. It is not the result of a process. It is avyayam. So, you see how to reach it then, how to reach that reality. So, you have to become a Mahatma, Mahatmanaha. You have to become a Mahatma. What is Mahatma? Mahatma is the one who resides in Himalayas with a long beard, etc. And he doesn't eat food, he eats hawa khake hota hai. He eats only wind. Once a gentleman came here. He declared, we are all sitting and listening to him. He declared, I eat only sunlight. What is that? He has a small pot belly also, and he tells us that he eats sunlight. Now, then he heard somewhere that plants eat sunlight. You know that? That is this photosynthesis. So he heard it somewhere. He is not a very well-educated man, but he heard this word photosynthesis. So he said, I am like one more plant eating sunlight. And so how do you, when you are hungry, what will you do? He raises the question himself and answers. When I am hungry, I go outside the door and go into the open and look at the sun, and my hunger is satiated. He tells that. Now he is bluffing, right? So we were all listening to his grand bluff. So this is how the world is. So that is not the Mahatma who eats hawa. So there is a poem. Hum hawa khate hain, hum rice etc. nahi khate. Like that there is a poem. How do you live, Mahatma ji? Hawa khake hum jeete hai. So all bluff masters, nothing but that. So you see, that is not the Mahatma. This kind of the weird, odd, funny characters, they are not the Mahatmas. Mahatma you can be now and here. Shankara gives meaning for Mahatma, akshudra chittaha. Don't be petty-minded, that is all. Kshudra chitta is petty-minded. Petty-minded means what? You look at everything, the world really, through the narrow channel of me and mine. So like that you look at. That is how you look at. That is the petty-mindedness. You can take out both. It is possible. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, is it possible to live without mine and me? Then I asked her, did you ever try? Tell me frankly, did you ever try? No, you try. You try. Without mine, you try. You learn to live without mine. So, you live in a house, don't live in my house. You eat food, don't eat my food. You look at the lady and do some service to her, love her and do some service to her. Don't say, my wife. What is my wife? You want to dominate and possess and exploit. That is what is the meaning of my wife. She may not say it my husband, but she may mean that way also. This is a very funny world. So, my son, is he my son? Will he follow what you want? He doesn't. Why do you want to say my son? He doesn't say my father. That is the problem. He is busy. He says my girlfriend. He never says my father, my girlfriend. Occasionally when he is short of pocket money, he says my mother. Whereas the father sits here and looks at this guy who never says my father, and he is my son. He should say my father. Why should the old man say my son? So you examine this my. What is this my? My Vedanta. Take to sannyas and say my Vedanta. Vedanta is also my Vedanta. So give up home, my home. And then come to ashram, my ashram. What is this, my ashram? So, is it possible to give up the mine? It is possible. Just you pay attention, it becomes possible. It becomes simple. People are bound by inadvertence and they are liberated by attention. Very simple. You don't pay attention, you become accustomed to habit. So by habit, you call it my. So in Sanskrit, my is called me. In Sanskrit, aham, mama, me. Me, who says me? The goat says me. Mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. Mamakaha me ite ratantaha. That is the explanation. So my sons means me, like a goat. Go on saying me. That's why sannyasis don't start vajascha me, prasavascha me, prayatischa me. They don't start that. Vajascha me, give me food. Prasavascha me, give me children. Ye kya baat hai bhai? Sesancha me, trapuscha me, give me tin, give me lead. Ashmacha me, murtikacha me, give me stones so that I can build a stone house. Murtikacha me, give me clay so that I can have all kinds of pots, etc. So they are made, from very special kind of clay. They are made and baked, and we use that plates and vessels, etc. That is the murtikachame. China clay. Murtika is China clay. So These are the Sikatashyame, give me sand. This is India. In India, sand is in short supply. Sand is like gold. So Sikatashyame. So how many may, kya may, bhai? So we ritualize the may. Mama. So you have ritualized the may. May is mama. And then me is aham. Aham mama. So the puja that you do is very silly or small, but the may and aham are said in a very big way. You do puja, whatever puja you do, why should you have aham and may? Why not do the same puja without aham and may? So it is possible to step out of this narrow tunnel vision. This is called tunnel vision. There is a thing called tunnel vision. If you go to Manhattan, there is a thing called tunnel wind. So all these buildings, high-rise buildings, they create a tunnel like, and the wind gets caught in the tunnel. It cannot flow freely. It is caught in the tunnel, and artificially some extra pressure is created, and therefore the wind will be blowing through the tunnel wind. Similarly, our vision, our thinking, and so it has become tunnelized. It has become like a tunnel. So we think in the tunnel only. That is what is called kshudratmanaha. The people who have a very narrow, petty-mindedness, just give it up. So this one student asked me, can we live without me and mine? That is where I started. So the answer is yes. Not just yes. You can live happily, very peacefully. All your anxiety and then worry. People are anxious. People are very much worried. They are worried about life, and they are worried about death also. And they are worried about the worldly life, and they are worried about the religious life also, whether gods and goddesses that I am worshipping, are they pleased or not? Somebody asked, I did so much puja. Is the God pleased now? I asked, are you pleased? I am not sure. Then God also pleased or not, we are not sure. But suppose, no, I am pleased, then God is also pleased. If you are pleased, God is pleased. If you are not pleased, God is not pleased. Therefore, you can step out. So my answer was, yes, you can step out. Can we live in family life, doing a job, bringing up the children, etc., without an enhanced or pronounced me and mine? Yes, you can do that. You need not become a sannyasi. Are the sannyasis living with no me and no mine? You never know. Therefore, it is not about in which stage of life you are, or in which station of life you are. That is not the point. Wherever you are, you can dilute and altogether erase the sense of me and mine. Then you are called Mahatma. Mahatmanaha, big-hearted, very simple. Mahatma Gandhi, he is called Mahatma for the simple reason that he never hated the British. He loved them. And he told them, why don't you go to your home and you take care of yourself, we will take care of ourselves. That is what he told. He never said Britishers are our enemies. He never said that. In fact, when some of these hot-headed people, when some Quit India movement or whatever movement he started, so some of these hotheads will be there in every movement. They are called Ativadaha. So some of them, they said the British are the enemies, let us attack the enemy. And there was some violence. And immediately he has withdrawn the movement. And no, I am not part of this movement anymore. The entire Congress party was stunned because he is the guide. He gave the call for non-cooperation movement or whatever. He started the movement and then he withdraws it. And then all these big leaders, Pandit Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, etc., they go and pray before him. What are you doing? You cannot withdraw the movement like that. It is still just picking up speed And the government, the British Raj, is considering various options, and now is not the time to withdraw it. He said no violence. What violence? In the entire country there is violence in one police station area. That you cannot show as an excuse to withdraw the movement. He said, I have nothing to do with you. You take another leader and you take the movement forward, not for me. I have already withdrawn. And he has withdrawn. He said, the British are not enemies. They are human beings like you and me. We were ready to be colonized and they came as colonial power. So it takes two hands to clap. Therefore they are not enemies. Then somebody said, maybe Pandit Nehru or not Nehru, maybe Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel said, you are a Mahatma. That is how the name Mahatma stuck. Mahatma Gandhi. Therefore, you can be a Mahatma. You should be a Mahatma. Otherwise, you don't need to study Vedanta and all that. Vedanta should make us Mahatmas, rise above the petty considerations of me and mine. It is possible to do it. Mahatmanaha. So, how to do that? So, what you have to do is, you take refuge. Two conditions. One is ananya manasaha bhajanti. Second is daivim prakruti mashritaha. Do you notice I am slowly covering up the entire verse? Slowly, I will not be surprised if the verse becomes concluded today. It is also possible in the remaining time. One is ananya manasaha. You see, this word ananya manasaha plural, ekavachanam will be ananya manaha. So, anyaha manasi navidyate ite ananya manaha, like that. So, it is like this. Suppose you are worshipping God. Between you and God, let us say, between you and God, is there another thing? Anya is other. Between you, the devotee, bhajanti, you know. Bhajanti means bhakti, means devotee. A provisional separation is admitted. Provisionally, not final. Final means you erase me and mine completely and merge in the Godhead. That is final. But on the way, initially, you worship. It's a mental worship. Bhajanti, mental worship. Here we are not talking of ritual worship. That is the karma. Here we are talking of bhakti, you know, daivim prakruti mashritaha. It is not rajoguna and tamoguna. It is sattvaguna. So it is about knowing, realizing only, not doing. Therefore, when you are mentally worshipping God in upasana, you may extend it to the ritual if you wish. It can be done while we are worshipping mentally the God. So, between you, the devotee, and the God, is there a third thing in your consideration? If there is a third thing, then it is anyamanasaha. If there is no third, that is called ananyamanasaha. What can be the third between devotee and his beloved? Beloved is the God. Between the devotee and the beloved, what is the third? It is like a person says, I love you. He says to the young lady, I love you. But then, how much dowry your father will give? That is the third. Between him and his beloved, the dowry has come. Now, do you like it? That kind of love, is it valid? No, it is not valid. So, that's why what the young man does, I don't know about this dowry and all that, I love her and I will marry her. Then the elders will say, okay, you pursue that. We will settle the dowry among ourselves. So for them, the third is important. Okay? For the young man, there is no third. He and his beloved, only no third. So, suppose you are worshipping God for the sake of heaven. Suvargam lokam. You want to go to heaven and you are worshipping God. Between you and the God there is heaven. Right? In all such worship, a fundamental question is raised. When you worship God for heaven, what is it that you love? God or heaven? You tell me frankly. What is it? Heaven. You love, you see, suppose the young man says, if you give 100,000 rupees dowry, I will marry you. Now what is it that he loves, the money or the lady? Money. First love goes to money. Then no love is left now. Love for money only, okay? The rest is all pretension or deception, whatever name you give to it. That is how the society moves. Therefore, in the religion also it is not much different. The same mentality, you know. The way you behave in the marketplace, you behave the same way in the temple also. What else? We have a proverb in Telugu. The cow, it grazes in one place in one way and grazes in another place in another way. No, it grazes the same way. So you behave in a particular way in the marketplace and then come to the temple, you become a saint or what? You are the same self-oriented person. What else? Therefore, people worship God because they are interested in things. Maybe wealth. Why do you worship Kubera? Who is Kubera? And why do you worship Kubera? Kubera is the finance secretary of Lord Shiva. And we worship Kubera so that he will give us some finance which he controls, right? So do you really love Kubera or you love the finance? What is it that you love? You love finance only, you don't love Kubera. Kubera, why he is called Kubera? Did you ever think of it? Kutsitam beram yasya saha. He has some skin problem and he requires a dermatologist to be treated. That's why he is called Kubera. Really. And who is the dermatologist? This is the moon, Chandramaha, is the dermatologist. So, therefore, people worship Kubera not because he looks very beautiful, this or that. They love him. No, nobody loves Kubera. They love the money that he holds on to. That's why they worship. This is the Anyamanaha. People love money. People love heaven. People love pleasures. People love the things that they desire. And therefore they worship God. They don't worship God. They worship the things they love, they desire via God. God is only an intermediary. Their mind is on the other. Ishwaram bhajanti anyamanasaha. Okay? They are worshipping God and their mind, their focus is on the other than himself and the God, the third. So that is not the way to worship. This is what is called Nishkama Bhakti Yoga. So you worship God. You pray to the rising sun because you love the rising sun. You don't seek anything from the rising sun. Okay? So you worship the moon because you love the moon. You worship Lord Sri Krishna because you love Lord Sri Krishna. That love you should understand, that one should get love. Love is that in which there is no other. Ananya manasaha. That is one meaning. Then the second meaning of Ananya manasaha. You see, as of now, as you are worshipping, mentally of course, this is a mental worship, upasana only. As you are worshipping, there is an element of division, the sense of separation. You feel yourself separate from the whole or separate from the Godhead. Godhead I am saying, because you should not assume God to be a person sitting somewhere. That's why I said Godhead. You worship the Godhead. Another name for the Godhead is the real. You worship the real. Or you worship the truth. That is also Satyam. Satyam is God. Did you pay attention to that? What is God? Satyam is God. Satyam Brahma. Look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful definition it is for Brahma. So, you ask any sectarian religionist, you ask him what is God, what answer he will give? Will he give a universal God or will he give a sectarian God to you? They give a sectarian God. So, very sad. And it is the same with all religions of the world, including multiple sects under sects of Hinduism. No difference. They are all same. So in Hinduism, the Vaishnava Acharyas offer a god who is a gentleman sitting in some place called Vaikuntha, and who is separate from another gentleman called Shiva and others. That is the god they worship, and that is the god they offer. Some of the stories which they tell, they betray their muddle-headedness and their sectarian thinking. Very sad thing it is. So that is not the way you worship God. That's why I said Godhead. You worship Godhead in a way that you do not stand apart or separate from that Godhead. You worship Godhead in order to merge in the Godhead. That is. What is love? Where there is the isolated person, there is no love. And where there is love, there is only love. There is no isolated person. That's why people do not know what love is. They only know attachment. They do not know what love is. Because when the thought is, there is no love. Thought generates attachment. And when thought becomes quiet, then there is love. So as long as you say, my wife, there is no love. When this my wife thought vanishes, in my wife there are two elements. One is my, this egotistic self, trying to possess. That is the Shashti Vibhakti, mama. Mama me Shashti Vibhakti is so there was a question asked, Vajascha me, Prasavascha me, is it Shashti Vibhakti or Chaturthi Vibhakti? Now you ask Sayanacharya who wrote Veda Bhashya, it is Shashti Vibhakti, not Chaturthi Vibhakti. You want to say Chaturthi, but that is not how Vaidikas understand it. They understand it as Shashti Vibhakti, means mine. Okay? Therefore, when you say my wife, now you have fixed her in a particular role or in a particular framework. That is what she is, and she has to fit into that framework. That framework, it is put in place from the tradition, culture, so many things are there. When you say wife, suppose a South Indian Brahmana says wife, that means a very different thing it is, a particular framework. So somebody else's wife may have a different framework. So the poor lady has to fit into that framework. And then you possess. What is love in it? When there is true love is defined in the Upanishad. When there is true love, there is no duality. Love is defined as unity in diversity. Diversity as bodies, diversity as minds, but unity as a love. That is love. Therefore, where the mind is, there is no love. There is only calculation and scheming and naming and possessing. Where there is no mind, mind is thought. There is love. Okay? Therefore, when you look at God with a sense of dualism, separate. Why dualism? Superior, inferior. So now what to do? He will give things to me. That is how the dualism comes. You see, you go to a rich man and say, sir, you are very great. So why he is great? Are you not great? No, I am not great. I am very low person. He is great. Why? Because he has to give money to me. So this is how we worship God. And therefore we do not know what is true love. You see, the love, some people define bhakti, bhajanti, Bhakti as the love of God. That is how they define. That is a sectarian definition. Because they are dualists, that is how they define. It is not love of God, it is love. That's it. Therefore, instead of saying love of God, it became anya, you know. I am separate, God is separate, and love of God. Anya manasaha. It is not love of God. It is the love which is God. Love is God. I was talking about a temple where it is written on the front porch or the lintel, at the front door above, Tattvamasi is written. Then my friend has pointed out another temple, and the place I don't know, but another temple only, the shrine, where on the front porch is written, love is God. I like it. That is the right spirit. Therefore, not that I love God. That is anya manasaha. It's not that I love God. There is no me, and there is no separation. And there is only love. When there is no me, you see, when you take two poles, when you take out one pole, the other pole is also gone. The North Pole is taken out. Then what happens to the South Pole? That is also gone. Therefore, me versus God, if that is gone, me versus God is gone, then what remains? Love remains. And that love is God, and you are no separate from that love. You also merge in that love. That is called bhakti. This is called ananya bhakti. You know how dualists explain ananya bhakti? You are likely to hear it. That's why I am anticipating it and dismissing it. So you love only Vishnu, don't love Shiva, don't love Swami, don't love Vigneshwara. But if you want to love a feminine god, love only Lakshmi, don't love Parvati. If you want to love a smaller god, then love Garuda. And so don't love Nandi. This is the love. That is the bhakti. That is not the bhakti. That is a sectarian thinking and based on some belief, that too very irrational belief also. That is not love. That is not bhakti. There is no bhakti in it. That divides. Bhakti, the way it is practiced by people, it divides. It divides people. Therefore, you worship that God and love that God, I love this God. You are different, I am different. But we are coexisting. We are coexisting. Means there is not enough provocation to fight with each other. But when enough provocation comes, we will fight with each other also. That is not peace. Coexistence is not peace. Therefore, that is not the bhakti. That is not the bhakti of the Gita. Very unfortunate that people who talk of bhakti do not get the spirit of bhakti from Gita. Bhajan tyananya manasaha. That we have covered adequately. Now we will cover Daivim Prakruti Mashrita. With that the verse will be complete. I was wondering whether I will be able to finish it, but now I am finishing it. Daivim Prakruti Mashrita. So you become a Mahatma. You gain that kind of love, the true love, Ananya Manasaha, that kind of love you gain. And you understand your Swarupa as the very origin of the universe. All this happens provided there is an inner transformation in you. Prakruti is that inner consciousness. And in that consciousness, that is you. The movement of the mind, the background of the movement of mind, all of that is called consciousness, waking consciousness. In that, there must be a transformation. If the transformation happens, you become a Mahatma, you will understand what is bhakti, in which there is no anya, and also you will understand the origin of the entire universe, and you will understand the changeless reality. All of this happens if you only take refuge, ashritaha. If you take refuge in Daivi Prakruti, Prakriti is your demeanor, your disposition. Means your consciousness. Look into yourself. You examine your consciousness. See whether it is tamasic or rajasic or it is sattvic. Daivi is sattvic because div, prakasha. Sattva guna is the prakasha. Rajoguna is the movement. Tamoguna is inertia. That is the three gunas. Therefore, you move away from inertia and restlessness. Rajoguna is restlessness or agitated state of mind. That is Rajoguna. Inertia and agitation, you move away from that into the light, divu kantav, light, the light, inner light, the light of awareness, the knowing element which is the light. You move into that. Your disposition should reflect that inner light instead of the agitation which is Rajoguna and the inertia which is Tamoguna. Means instead of identifying with the body and the mind, you allow that inner light to reflect in your consciousness which consists of the thought process. Daivim prakrutim. So what is this Daivi prakriti? Svabhavaha, disposition. You understand? The disposition that is sattvic in nature means that reflects the inner light of your true nature. That is the disposition. That disposition you have to gain. You have to take refuge in it. Means there must be an inner transformation. Vedanta is all about inner transformation. It is not about acquiring knowledge. People are habituated to acquire. What they acquire? They acquire money, and then they remain dissatisfied. Then they acquire gadgets, pleasures, to gain these pleasures. You acquire pleasures or gadgets, and they continue that, and they remain dissatisfied. And then they acquire the religious virtue. Take a sacred bath here, take sacred bath there, like that the whole country you move around and take sacred baths, accumulate punyam, virtue, and then visit temples, accumulate punyam, and do rituals, accumulate punyam. So people are caught in this acquisitive spirit. You got the point? And now they come to Vedanta. I told you the cow example. It grazes same way everywhere, right? So the cow has come to the Vedanta now. Therefore here it starts acquiring. It has the name acquisitiveness. They come to the Vedanta with acquisitive spirit. So how much we have to acquire, how much we have to accumulate, and how much time it will take. You have to accumulate this much and it will take 4 years. Oh, good, we are ready. No. Now what happened? There is no inner transformation. Earlier you were acquiring wealth and other things. Now you are acquiring knowledge. That is not Vedanta. Acquisition is not Vedanta. You accumulate knowledge, it is not Vedanta. Then if you ask me, don't tell that Swami TV told not to accumulate knowledge. I am not saying that. I am saying that is not Vedanta. You need knowledge. You need knowledge. For example, after the class, what will you do? You go to the lunch hall. You need knowledge and take lunch there. You need knowledge. Then you go home. You need knowledge. I will go somewhere. I need knowledge. We all need knowledge. Without knowledge, there is no life. But that is not Vedanta. Then what is Vedanta? If it is not accumulation of knowledge, what is it? It is inner transformation. Transformation from the disposition of rajas and tamas into that of sattva. Daivim prakrutim. Shankara raised a question. What is this Daivi prakriti? Shri Krishna said Daivi prakriti. He did not explain it. Somewhere he should tell what it is. So Shankara gives in the 16th chapter Avatarika, he says in the 9th chapter, there was an expression called Daivim Prakrutim, and it was not explained there. That is now explained in the 16th chapter. That's why 15th chapter, Gita ends. Iti guhyatamam shastram. The shastra, the vision, ended there. Then what is 16th chapter? It is an appendix of Daivi Prakriti, etc. Appendix. That is the avatarika he gives. Therefore, what is the Daivi Prakriti? Abhayam, Sattvasam Shuddhihi. Therefore, go to 16th chapter. Abhayam, be fearless. Don't be afraid. That is where it starts. You need a fearlessness because you have to think. To think, you must be free from fear. If you are in the grip of fear, you cannot think. Then the purity of heart, Sattvasam Shuddhihi, etc. So refer to 16th chapter where Daivi Prakriti is presented in one verse or maybe two verses. Maybe just one verse or two verses. So two, if not two, three. So you read that is the Daivi Prakriti. And they are only given Asuri Prakriti also. So look at both. So this Asuri Prakriti, what elements are there in me? Get rid of them. Just understand, they will go away. Understand. Then Daivi Prakriti, this is what the divine disposition. That is the inner transformation. And once you gain that inner transformation, you become a Mahatma, you will understand Ananya Bhakti, you will understand the origin of the universe, and you understand the changeless reality in yourself, and that is how you become liberated. Om. Let us say the verse. Mahatma nastu mam partha Daivim prakrutimashritah bhajant jananya manasaha jnatva bhutadimavyayam. Om Purnamadav